What's going on, everybody? Yes, sir. I'm here with Andrew Cabilan, and we're going to be talking about his wins at the Battle for the Crown. That was just this weekend in Erie, Pennsylvania. You were a grand champion winner.
Yep.
Congratulations. How you doing
Thank you.
tonight? Everything good?
Yeah, it's keeping myself busy. School starting up on Tuesday, getting ready for Amerikick. So yep, keeping myself busy this all this week. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, man. Busy week. Yeah. For those of you guys don't know, he's a legendary karate. In my eyes, legendary sport karate martial artist champion, school teacher, and DJ. So you can do a little bit of everything, man. That's good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so battle for the crown. You ended up winning grants for forms, right?
Senior forms, yes.
Senior forms. Senior
Yeah.
forms. Cool. Awesome. Have you been to that event before?
The last time I went to the event, it was in 2016 when it was in Buffalo, and I won the grands there as well, senior grands there as well. So it's been some time since I've been there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, yeah, Richie Everidge. He's been doing a great event over there. I know that Kevin Walker. I think he won in the fighting side.
And he won. Kevin Walker won the fighting grants as well as open weight.
Yeah. How about the women? Do you know who won the women's grants or
I
anything like
know.
that?
I know. I know Katarina Herman won one, and
Oh, yeah.
Savannah Wolaniuk also
Wow.
won another one. I just don't know if it was grands or open weight,
Yeah.
but each of them did walk away with a crown.
Wow, man. Look at the caliber, the talent that was there.
Yeah,
Wow. Great champions in forms and fighting
yeah,
all around. That's a great event for sure. For sure. So yeah, no, and I saw that it ran really smooth as well. The awards were great, and the venue was awesome. So
yeah.
yeah, man, just it looked like a great event, and you won. So you won the senior, you won the division senior forms, and then you
Yeah,
won in the you in the grants. Yeah,
yeah,
awesome. Did you get one of those crowns too? Well, how are the
yeah.
awards?
Yeah. I
You
got
did.
two. Yeah, I got two medals for my two first, and I got the crown for the grands. Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah,
man. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's always a great event. If you guys didn't know about it this year, it's a great annual event over there out there in the East Coast. It was awesome. So yeah, man. So let's get now into your career and stuff. And I remember seeing you for the first time. Man, I was like a teen. I was a teenager. I was like probably in my 14, 15. And I think I saw you competing around back then, and you're still
yeah,
competing now. So you've
yeah.
been competing for how long, man, in the national, and I'm talking about high caliber national events. How long has it been since the
Um,
early 90s or late
yeah.
90s?
No, early '90s because my first event was Diamond Nationals 1991. So I've been competing since then. Yeah,
Wow,
it's been that long.
91, man.
Yeah.
Wow,
and
wow,
I th- and I think
91.
and I think I met you in '97 with John Valera.
Yeah, with John. Yeah, we
Yeah,
met at Boston, right? At the
yeah,
at
yeah.
the New England Open,
New
was
England
it?
Open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. Man, I remember that whole trip actually. Wow,
yeah,
I remember we went to eat and everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
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 yeah. Wow, man, that's crazy. That just triggered a memory now. There, I
yeah,
remember that trip. Not, I went to a McDonald's there, right? And
yeah,
they had like they have different food. They had like a lobster roll there. So that's
yeah,
something I remember from that same trip. But yeah, man, that's how far back you go, and
yeah.
you've never stopped. So what is the key to anybody listening out there? Because that's the hardest part, I think, like the longevity. And for me, I didn't compete since like 2009, and now I'm starting to compete again, and I got that fire back. But I didn't have that fire for a long time, right?
Right,
That's part of the reason why I stopped competing, was because I was like more. I had that fire more to coach than to fight myself and compete. But now I have
right.
that fire back. But how do you not lose that flame at all? Like, what's been your strategy mentally, I guess, or
You
whatever, physically, or any tips?
Well, you have to set different goals every single year when you're competing. So, for me this year, because I moved up an age division. My goal was to win the overall for that age group, right? Because I'm in the executive divisions now. Because I was in 40 plus last year, and I moved up this year. So that my goal
Yeah.
for this year was to get the overalls in forms, but it looks like I'm also going to win the overalls for weapons as well. So yeah, so that's keeping me motivated. And this year I'm doing a lot of everything actually. I not only am I doing NASCAR, I'm also doing the Michigan Sport Karate Circuit because Michigan's
Yeah.
only 2 hours driving for me. And then I'm also doing the upstate New York circuit, that MA tour that Nick Kane is running. And I'm also doing the WK Worlds in Germany this year in
Wow.
October.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of everything this year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I think following you the last few years, maybe this is something that maybe that I've noticed. Do you have some years that you go really full blast, and then you just that another year maybe that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do 4 or 5 events, like less events that year,
Yes,
and then
correct.
the next then you go back to full blast, right? Is
Right.
that
So
something that you kind of do?
yeah, so it's kind of a superstition thing. So anytime that my age ends in in a 9, so for example when
Yeah.
I'm 29, 39, 49, I tend to take it a little bit easier. It's just something that
Yeah.
I've been doing. So last year I
Okay.
only did, I believe, 6 or 7 NASCA events, and I did a bunch of locals. But
That's
other
a lot. Yeah.
yeah,
That was
but
still a lot. Yeah.
but this year alone, and now that I'm looking at my now that I've looked at the calendar for the entire year, I've actually competed more times this year than I did since I think 2011. Because 2011 was
Yeah.
another year that I did everything as well, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
2011 I did NASCA, I did NBL, I did WKC and WKW, WKU, which was WKA at that time. So I did everything
Yeah,
that
man.
year, and same thing this year. So yeah,
Yeah, man, that's good. No, that's great. I asked you that question because I that's something that I always was like, man, how do people keep doing it? Like people that last so long. And that I remember Jerry Fontanez one time gave me good advice to me and my brother. He was like, have a strong year and have some years that you take it light so you don't
yeah,
burn out as well, because there's that burnout effect as
right,
well. But that's a great tip. What you said, set a new goal, because it's something different, like what you're
right,
saying. Because if you just keep doing the same events over and over, you're gonna for sure get burnt out,
right,
or even bored of it. So finding different cool events to go to, that are to challenge yourself. That's a good tip for sure, man. That's good. Yeah, man. Wow, you've been competing for so long. It's
yeah,
crazy,
yeah. I
and you
love
look
that.
young.
Oh,
You look
thanks,
younger too.
thanks.
Yeah, you're like you would say you're 39, 38. I'll believe it. So that's good. You've kept yourself in good shape as well. That plays a role too, right? Is the being
Absolutely.
healthy and the conditioning and the training, that plays a role with everything. So you could be able to compete like that for a long time. So yeah, man. So what's gonna be your next tournament? You're gonna be at America this weekend, right?
American. Yeah, I leave on Thursday morning. So I've
Yeah,
got
yeah, man.
I've got Amerikick. That'll be the last one for this month. Next month I've got two. I've got the Smack Internationals in Buffalo, and I also got a Mike Bernardo's tournament in London, Ontario in September. In October I got Diamond Nationals and I got WKU,
Yeah, wow.
and then
That's it. There you go.
and then end off the year in Toronto.
In Toronto. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, that's a great schedule. All those tournaments you said are really good and
yeah.
exciting for sure, man. So that's good, keeping it busy. All right, man. So let's get into like when you started martial arts. Did you like how old were you when you started, and how fast did you start competing from when you started?
I was 12 years old when I started, and the moment I started, I started competing. So even when I was a white belt, I competed in this event called the Canusa Games, which is just like a mini Olympics thing between my city, Hamilton, Ontario, and Flint, Michigan. And yeah, it was just a competition that we did there, and ever since then I've been competing. So I've been competing
Wow, man. So
on every single
nonstop.
level. Yeah.
Wow, bro, that's so impressive, man. It's making me think. I wonder. I'm gonna put a post out there and ask how many people, an average, how much, because kind of like it's hard for me to say how many tournaments I've competed in. I wish I would have had a book like that too. But
Yeah.
man, if you add up all your tournaments, because you've been competing since 12. And you're how old now again? You're
50.
50?
Yeah.
50. Yeah, I was like, wait, 50. I thought you said 50, but I was like, you don't look 50 at all. So basically all this time you haven't stopped. Like you have to be the person that's competed the most right now that's active. I wonder
Yeah.
how many tournaments you competed at, right? Think about it. How many
It's
tournaments have
hard.
you competed in all
Well,
these years, man? Woo.
well, if I average it out, if there's 52 weeks in a year, like this year, I'm gonna say I competed 40 weeks out of the 52 weeks of the year. Like I can count the number of days off I have on I think
Yeah.
on the two hands that I have, right? So
Wow,
um
man.
yeah. It like
So
especially
38 years of competition then.
yeah.
I just did the math, 38, and let's say you did an average of 25 events, which is low,
Yeah.
right? That's like 1,000 tournaments right there. You've
Yeah.
competed in over 1,000 events in your
Yeah.
lifetime. Wow, man.
Yeah, it's
Woo.
crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I could only say maybe a few hundred for sure for me. So that's a great number right there. That's a good thing with history. Like I remember my brother writing down in a black book that he had all his wins, his losses, how many points he scored. So like that's a cool thing to have, like people that keep stats, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that would be a great next step in our sport, into like the stats, and it could be done already, I think, because
Right.
you have Juventus, you have Mad Action, and they kind of keep the results there,
Yeah, they
right?
do.
But then you have other local events that you can't do that on. So
Right.
but that'll be cool to see stuff like that, with to see numbers, because imagine numbers like yours. That's a great body of work. How many, over 1,000 tournaments, a bunch of world titles, first places. Imagine having a stat like that out
Yeah.
there. That's super impressive. But yeah, man, that's awesome. So you started when you were 12, and you basically have never stopped.
No,
Now,
I've never stopped.
you've never stopped. Yeah, you've never stopped.
Even yeah, even like I've never taken a year off competition. I mean, there's been years where I didn't do an entire circuit, but I'd still do one or two events, right? So like I've always been active in some capacity, even though I wasn't active when I'm traveling. So yeah, I'm always doing something.
Yeah, man, for sure. No, and how about your training wise? Have you do you kind of have has your training changed from when you were, you know, in your 20s and to now into 50? Like,
Oh
do
yeah,
you train
absolutely.
harder, less, or like how's the training like now
Um,
compared to before?
I do all my training in the morning. So I do my gym stuff around 5 a.m. and then 6 a.m. I do my karate stuff, right? And that's my daily routine. So yeah, that's what I do. So when I was younger, I would do my karate stuff in the evening, but I don't have the time to do that anymore. So yeah, I do everything in the morning. Put 2 hours into both the gym as well as my kata training, and yeah, and that's what I've been doing, just keeping
Yeah,
myself active like
awesome,
that.
man. Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. So you're like a historian as well. There's always like there's always a big debate. Like things were better back then, like or now.
Yeah.
People talk about that stuff, but like people like you and even me, even though I haven't been competing, like I'm at the tournaments, because a lot of times people that are like, it was better back then, or people that don't even go to a tournament now, they're just seeing stuff online and they're not there in it, right? So for you, what for you personally, what has been? Do you have a favorite era? 90s, early 2000s, and now later 2000s. Do you have like an era that
I
you
would ha-
enjoyed
I
as
would
a
have
competitor
as a
and as a
competitor.
spectator? Yeah, yeah, as
As
a competitor and a spectator. Yeah,
So as a competitor, I enjoyed the my era when we were adults. So that would be me, Carmichael Simon, Mike Chatteradbit, John
ooh,
Valera. That era, right? I had the best. I had the most fun time competing because those guys always kept me
yeah,
motivated to say training. I was doing open at the time, but still, but it was those are some fun times. I think my generation when it comes to forms did set the blueprint to what the kids and young adults are doing
true.
now. So yeah, I think that's what my generation did. And in terms of
Yeah,
spectator, now that I'm other than competing, I do still watch a lot. I do
Mhm.
think that era, I'm going to say in between 2000 and 2010, I'm going to say, okay, was probably another memorable era. So you had guys like Matt Emig, Marcel Jones, right? Mark Canonizato for
Oh
forms,
man,
right?
Marcel.
You had, yeah, you
Wow.
had your Raymond Daniels
Yes.
and that era of fighters. Jack Felton, Jack is still around, but during that time, he was one of the guys. Those guys were very exciting to watch, right? So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and, I have to give credit for fighting in particular. This era is actually very talented.
Yeah.
My teammate um, uh, Bailey, like he's the goat at there
Bailey.
right now. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
man, for sure. No, it is exciting to see the differences too. Yeah, you're right. That's a great analysis. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's great. So one more question: Do you have any goals already set for next year?
Right now, I'll be honest with you. There's a big question mark in terms of how much I'll be doing.
Yeah,
I will say that I will be doing fewer events next year.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I will say that much. Like I'm not going to do
Okay.
every single local. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
probably try and get one event per month.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
try and get
smart.
that in.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, man. Awesome, man. Hey, congratulations again on your win at Battle for the Crown. It was a great event. You guys don't want to miss that one out next year. And thanks for tuning in. All right. Have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
sir. All right. Yes, sir. Take care, guys. Power, baby. We'll
Power.